地域ブレーキがかかっています。まあ、とりあえずプリフライトチェックしておくか。10分、5分のギリギリになっちゃいましたね。マイクロソフトのなんかアイオワを飛ぶみたいな。ああれなんだろう。もういろんな飛行機がいます。はい、プリフライトチェック。エルロン、エレベーター。フラップもなんもない。シンプルな飛行機ですね。エクストラのなんとかっていう。330だったかな。スピットファイヤーかな。行くか。すごい大勢いるかと思ったら全然そんな大したことないのかな。見えないだけかな。
メジャーからのメッセージ Anyone have this issue when using shared cockpit on bottom where your friends plane is placed on top of your plane and you cannot see anything メジャーからのメッセージメディア .discord.net
なんか何かを読み上げ始めた。ちょっと残念ながら Twitch のだいたい基本的にはどの人についていけばいいのかもわからないけど、まあみんなとおおむね一緒にいればいいのか。配信が聞こえないのは寂しいですな。せっかくのなんかイベントチックなものなのに。街の上でなんかふにゃふにゃしてんだな。なんか前に誰もいなくなると超不安に。T6。やっぱり意外とセスナは今いないですな。セスナ172。飛行機わからず。PC6CC19、CC19。
I see 5 parallel here on building that map.
ボリュームが低いだけだった。
That's
And
incredible.
then 2 perpendicular. Yeah.
I'm a bit high.
シカゴヘア空港。ここは離陸したことがありますな。ここからワシントンまでイーグルで
Planes are built with
旅客機
different
をかけ
descents.
て飛んだことがあります。
Exactly.
シカゴ。
So it's caravans and they're designed to get in and out of anywhere.
もうキャラバンって言ってた。キャラバンだな、確かに。
Someone who weighs 180
仲間
pounds
じゃい。
would feel like they weigh 30 pounds on the moon.
Now that's how you get weight loss.
Yeah. That's quite a nice formation you've got forming up around you there, Peter.
Yeah, the more the merrier. I think it's pretty impressive how they pull this off with those very fast jets. I mean, I'm only going like what 120 indicated. I think
All
that
Team
between
Yoga
90
Fire.
frames.
There's a great username. The old school Street Fighter fans out there. Yoga
I mean,
Fire!
I see Fizzy Hamster here. I mean, that's also nice.
いい飛行機だね、これも。なんか軽やかで乗りやすい。
That was
視界もいいし。
that was a big game that defined the early
大きい飛行機が
'90s
見え
for
て
a
き
lot
た。
of us who grew up in that era. I
これは
can't tell you
何？
the number of hours I spent playing Street Fighter 2 with my friends.
I had a breakout. Nice one.
Anime says, as many times as I have practiced my downward-facing dog, I have still not been able to produce yoga flame. Yeah.
プロペラの止まってるのと動いてるのと両方
Or
見え
stretch your
る。
arms and legs like that.
普段見たことない飛行機が見えるので楽しいですね。スピットファイヤーもいるな。
Those planes, the S4 and the Honda Jet.
プロペラが回ってないのは残念ですな。やっぱなんかな、アニメの。
Airstud, hello to you. Welcome. Peter
アニメーション
Energizer
の
says
せ
you've
自分の
picked
飛
up
行
some
機
of
の状態
Simtom's
が相
drone
手に
camera
伝わら
skills.
ないんでしょうね、うまく。
Yeah, it turns out you only have to lower the sensitivity and you'll be as good as Simtom. Who knew?
So you're still saying drone piloting is an easy job, Peter?
さっきのやつか。
Well,
I
we don't have Simtom is absent today. He's not available for us to talk trash about him. I feel bad insulting his absence when he's not here to defend himself.
No, I actually feel really good about it.
あれあれ、そうか。やっぱり結局アニメがおかしいんだな。車輪があれ。
Blaine talks about the
しまえる飛行
S4.
機だった
I love all the
な。
realism features. You can turn them on, then you have to worry about oil levels, tire pressure, brake. Equipped with an airframe parachute. So it's not a parachute for the pilot, it's a parachute for the plane. And what happens if you have an engine failure, if the plane's in an emergency that you can't make a safe landing from, what you can do is on the top of your on the roof of the plane inside the cockpit, there's a lever you can pull that will actually deploy a parachute on the plane itself,
あ、これ
and
さっ
then
き
the aircraft
TGV
will
よくのや
gently
つか。
descend down to a safe landing in an emergency situation.
でもこ
In
れ
the
車輪閉
Cirrus
じてる
and
の。
the Icon in Microsoft Flight Sim, the emergency parachute is not modeled, so
お
you can't actually
い
try
い
to
同じや
descend.
つがい
But on
る。
this third-party plane, the S4 Sting, it is modeled, so you can actually use the airframe parachute.
E3 あ、330だと思ったら
So
E300
that's kind of a
か
cool
これ。
feature. I think, as far as I know, that's the first add-on plane for Microsoft Flight Simulator to be equipped with that feature.
それと同じ飛行機ですね。なかなかいい飛行機だな。
It's
こ
quite
れ
neat.
ちょっ
You don't have to get out of the plane.
とやっぱ
You're
り
just right there. Pull the lever.
極技飛行できるような飛行機がいいな。あ、これはプロペラちゃんと回って見える。イエーイ。
Flying low here.
ヒュー
Yeah, Adam, check it out. There's videos on YouTube of people flying the Cirrus SR22 and pulling the airframe parachute lever. You can see what it looks like in real life. So that's kind of
It
neat.
isn't pretty, by the way.
What's that?
It isn't pretty.
あん
Airworthy
まり区
again.
別がよく
Yeah,
わからん
yeah, I
But,
think.
but don't expect to be able to fly
あ、こ
away.
れ車輪
from
が
that.
出っ歯だ。出っ歯っておかしいけど。
But yes, it is a much better situation than crashing and having fatalities. So it's a last resort thing, but it's again it's much better than the
Cessna.
alternative.
セスナですよ。
And there have been many lives
Oh,
already. The technology is only maybe 10 or
大昔から
15 years old.
Cessna
There's been many lives been saved by
170
that already.
飛行機ですね。
Garmin has also worked on a
軽飛行機
system
の代
where
名詞
basically
Plane is
you
broken.
have a panic button sends you out for an airport. Wonder if that's going to get into the sim someday.
Well, yes and no. So that system exists on the Cirrus Vision Jet, and I believe at least one other aircraft type. I can't remember what it is now. Definitely the Vision Jet for sure, though.
セスナですよ。
What it is it's basically an automated landing system. You may have a lot of you, I'm
あ
sure, saw that story from
JU52
like a
って
couple
のはやっ
weeks
ぱりあ
back,
れだな。
where I think it was in a Cessna Caravan actually,
あ、どう
where
も
the
飛行
pilot
機で
became incapacitated
ちゃん
and
と
a
見えない
passenger
やつだな。
successfully landed the plane who had no flying experience. You guys, anyone see that story?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the TBM. Thanks, Captain Zank. That's the
TBM,
other
yeah.
plane that has
The
this
new
system.
TBM has it, yeah.
This is like that, but turned up to 11. So a passenger, if the pilot becomes, and it works, it's proven effective. So that's
and it will
that's
even
really
inform.
cool feature.
It will even inform ATC.
Yeah. Shattering some Simmer's dreams here.
いろんな飛行機が見えますな。乗ったことがない飛行機ばかり。あ、これはマイクロソフトの
You know,
フライト
there's
シミュレ
always
ーター
these
の、
set
あ
of
れです
people
ね。
So
that
this SR22, which I have on screen, is a bit broken.
リバリーですね。鱗みたいな。
Okay, switching over to your
こ
point
い
of view.
のぼりみたいな。
Or it's probably imported
look at
from
that.
Australia. It doesn't seem to have an Australian registration. But...
Not sure if the SR22 is certified for aerobatic flight.
I'm pretty sure it is not. I mean, it's fuel injected, so it will probably be able to fly upside down. But
お、結構楽しいな。
Cruise, climb, land,
鉄
descend
砲よ。あ、色がついてる。
navigate
お、ちょっとごめんなさいよ。
on their own by the computer without intervention from a human pilot. So,
使わ
question
な
for
いからいい
chat:
けど、このゲーム。
would you be comfortable flying as a passenger on a plane that is 100% self-flying?
なんかいろんな色に変わってみる。
I think they'll statistically make less errors than pilots.
I agree with Peter here.
なんかかっこいいな、
So here-
この飛行機の塗装も。
Here, yeah, look at the chat here. A lot of people are saying no. I've asked this question before
DA62。
when I asked a plane without a human pilot. So it's very interesting the reaction you get depending on who you talk to. When
I
you
mean,
ask
I
that
guess
question.
those stats you could debate
An
against.
Airbus A320 is basically self-flying
Well,
Ooh.
it is. It is. I mean, you still have the human
in
element of it.
normal
Yeah.
condition.
Yeah,
You
I
get
would
no
wait for the
tests.
technology to be mature. Like I probably wouldn't get on version 1.0 of this. I definitely wouldn't be there to beta test it. But once the technology is proven and has been in operational use for a few years, I would have absolutely no problem getting on a self-flying plane.
It's really
I
the
mean, the problem
psychology.
is always the extremes of the envelope, right? So if you take the Sully case, for example, what would the autopilot would have done?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Would it be that
D17。
smart and that intuitively?
お
So that's always a double-edged knife, really.
なんか楽しい。
All right, coming up on for our next touch and go, second touch and
結
go,
構
which
変態
is
飛行できるな。
Kilo
景色
Delta
全然見てないから、景
Kilo
色。
Bravo.
まあ、ここはまだいい
Going
か。
to make a left-hand turn here. Sorry, right-hand turn to join the left-hand circuit. Or pattern, I guess. Mistakes and fewer accidents than human-controlled planes.
空港があ
I
る。あ、
bet-
これ
I
さ
bet,
っき
yeah.
見たやつじ
Like
ゃ
there
な
are
いか。
probably edge cases where you'd be better off having a human
Yeah.
at the controls. But I
Yeah.
think overall,
Apparently was a software error which they discovered after a long time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
When that happens with those autopilots,
Well, that also relates
it,
a bit
should
to.
have, it would have been or it
whole
would be
program.
needed to been proven first before they.
Well, and that's the other thing with the commercial aviation industry and
車両出し
government
忘れる。
regulations and,
まあ
and government
恐れがな
certification.
くていい飛行機だな。
A lot of technology people think things happen really slow. And they do. And the reason for that is safety. Everything is very, very, very thoroughly vetted and evaluated by the various different authorities, government
やっぱ
regulatory
り宙
agencies,
返りできるの
before
も
they'll
い
be
い
certified
ね。
as safe for commercial operation. And so by the time something does, like a autonomous self-flying plane, by the time that does receive government certification and would be able to be, fly in operational passenger service, at that point you can trust that it has been extremely thoroughly tested and evaluated.
わあ
Airplane world. I think it's a
There's
long way.
there's FADEC systems on planes now.
Oh, there
are,
is.
but
Oh, yes, definitely.
those are still the diesel engines. You're right, but there's a lot of new fuel technology with just regular gas, which isn't used at all in aviation, and that's also
PB.
because it's really hard to get something
PIV.
certified, right? And I mean, the volume
全然民間の
the
飛
sales
行機を知ら
volumes
ないからな。
often don't
C に役あ
how
る
do。you say it are not that interesting to get something
Yeah.
certified in the first place. It's just a small market.
Looks like Papa's going to be our next pilot
Okay,
landing here. Let's switch to your.
It is. That is 100 LL Oculus.
LL stands for low lead, which is reduced lead content, but it still does have leaded fuel.
Still does have lead, yeah.
Purple Dalek, you can type exclamation mark fly. We'll give you all the information you need to join us. We currently just did a touch and go at Kilo Delta Kilo Bravo, KDKB. You want to spawn in there on Southeast Asia
デルタ
server.
キロ KDKB キロ
Yeah, this is not my day.
You know, I find tail draggers are so difficult to land.
Yeah, but I have new hardware as well, so kind of getting used to this.
この派手な
Have you locked your tail wheel, Papa?
Do you have a binding for it?
You didn't
Did-
touch and go yet?
ちょっと
Looks
待って
like you're
落
en
ち着
route
け
already.
なんでそんな風に見
I
えちゃうの
did a low pass because I was way overspeeding for touchdown.
おー、なんかすごい風に
Now,
見え
I've
ちゃった
heard, someone in chat, I'm sure, know this. Peter, you
は
might
い
know
出た
this,
出たよ
actually.
かった
Avgas is now currently more expensive than jet fuel. On a liter for liter basis.
that was already the case before the ludicrous
おー
fuel
乗って
prices.
ますな旦那
Yeah, so I think a lot of like GA planes with internal combustion
旦
engines
那
are being
中が
modified
結
to
構
run
透
on
け
jet
ちゃい
fuel.
ますねそれ
I think, for example, some of the new
それ
Diamond
の
planes
せい
run
じゃないと
GA
思う
instead of traditional license training. If you make an emergency landing off field and your only choice is to fill up because you're fuel starved and you have to fill up using automobile gas, you could do that. The plane will fly, it will work. It's bad for the engine. You'll need to do some aircraft maintenance afterwards, but it will take off and you can get to the nearest airport to get proper avgas loaded in. Certainly, you don't want to do that long term, though. But Peter, you're saying there's a lot of planes that will just run on regular automobile fuel
広い
normally,
と
and
ころが
that's
広
by
々とした
design.
ところが続きます
Well,
な
I'm not
で
sure
も
there's a
339
lot,
って
but
ジ
I
ェ
know
ット機じゃ
4
ねえかあれ
which I fly.
My
さっ
screen
きも
CD.
これ入ってなかったかな
We got a Popeye here. Then we have a donut man.
スピンしておきま
And then we got a bunch of people. It's honestly a beautiful sight. You get to see the whole group here.
All right, I just turned it down. How's that now?
That's loud. Yeah, they say so.
よしスピットファイヤー
before
補
I turn
足
it
し
down.
ますよ
See you. We'll wait for an update.
ファイヤ
That
ー買
is-
ってるから見えるんだよな見えない人も多いと思うけど
Fairy
I,
Phil, we're currently, I believe, in rural Illinois. Currently en route to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which is our
大
final
英
full
帝国
stop
の守護
destination
神
on
スピッ
today's
トファイ
flight.
ヤー
This will
ファイヤ
This is awfully flat.
is Jane vlogging the event? I don't know if
Oh,
she's
yeah.
vlogging it.
Pika
She
pika
may post
desu
some
na,
images on our socials though, like our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
How are how are you calling that vlogging?
What?
Isn't it just vlogging?
Oh, I've always heard it as vlogging, but maybe it is vlogging.
It's the
Oh,
first time
video
I've heard
logging.
it. Vlogging.
Just an age thing.
Probably. Said the 40-year-old.
Savage.
お
It's vlogging, not
Kokuseki
vlogging.
I don't know.
I believe
Or-
this. Yeah.
It starts getting to the GIF conversation.
Hard G. It's anyone who says
Oh!
GIF is wrong. It stands for
つい
graphics.
ていけるかな
Yes,
ギリついていけ
exactly.
るかな
Graphics.
スピットファイヤーの方が絶対パワーはあんだよな
That's honestly the
GIF.
one thing that I make a count on.
Isn't Jif like a peanut butter as well?
It is,
With a
but
J?
it's spelled differently. It's spelled a J. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
戦闘
So
機
why
ほ
should
どの
GIF
パワー
with
は
a G
ない
be
この
pronounced
空
the
中
same
性
way?
のワンシーンみ
Doesn't
たい
make
ですな
sense.
Yeah, no.
And I know that when people say, well, the programmer who created the file format says it's pronounced GIF. I don't care what he says. He's wrong.
でもパワーっていう面では全然相手にならんでしょう
Giraffics.
There's always at least one.
It's a
Just like
trend.
there's always
Yeah.
one person who flies an airliner, even if we're doing a GA flight. or a jet plane. In fact, I'm kind of shocked actually that I haven't seen any F-18s today or Dark Stars. At least not yet.
I've seen a couple of F-18s that take off at the beginning. Though
D&H says,
Dark
be right back,
Stars?
going to buy some gift peanut butter.
お、なんか花が翼に書いてある飛行機だ。イエーイ。
And Peter, earlier you said this was really flat of an area. I do have to agree with you. It is particularly flat.
This is the yeah, Purple Dalek. Yeah, you got to make sure you're on all players. We always mention that at the start of the flight, but maybe you weren't here at the very beginning. But very important, yeah. Southeast Asia, all players. Want to see the other pilots.
It's always something to check because
I think it
recently
has been a
I've had
while that the
couple
difference
moments-
between live players and all players has been explained. With the recent influx of new players, it might not even always be very clear what the difference is.
Well, that's a good point, Peter. So for those of you who don't know, all players will show you everybody in multiplayer who's on the same server and in the general vicinity of you. Live players will only show other traffic if they have live weather and live time turned on.
Purple Dalek, are you on Southeast Asia as well? And otherwise, you can also move around with the multiplayer toggles and the data tab.
やっぱり
Use
この
general
くらいの
settings.
ゆっくりの飛行機の方が変態飛行も優しいですな。
Southeast Asia has been
そ
super
れにプロペラ
reliable
の飛行機
weather
は
wise.
That's why we tend to pick the Southeast Asia
あの
server. It
パ
tends
ワ
to
ー
give
が
us
そんなに
the
遅れてついて
best
こないの
performance
で
with really large groups,
結
like
構
what we have every Friday.
Yep.
Power of Cheese 71, flying a Beechcraft Bonanza. That is a great username. Sorry, Beechcraft Baron, not a Bonanza. I love that username. Cheese is indeed powerful. Peter, you're from the Netherlands. They got some pretty good cheeses there, right?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, you
Gouda,
gotta.
or Gouda, as it actually pronounced, but yeah. And Old Amsterdam, and Leerdam. Yeah.
I went to a cheese tasting in Amsterdam when I was there 2.5 years ago. Very good.
気持ちいい
I can only imagine. Hi, Peter. Can you hear me now?
Is he talking now?
Yeah, I can hear
Cookie
him.
is in one cookie,
I can't.
two cookies.
How is that
three
working?
cookies?
I hear
Or
Peter
Cookie.
and Cookie just fine.
I
Did you
checked
accidentally
it.
mute him, Peter?
Oh, Peter
Not
doesn't
to my
like me.
knowledge,
I know
but
it.
I'm not even seeing him in our chat window.
I'm still hearing him just fine.
I don't. Something is off here. Let me refresh briefly.
Peter must have ghosted me. Microsoft Food Simulator. When is that coming out? I mean, technically, right? Microsoft Flight Simulator, with all the different places we're going, and CD, you're great at highlighting the places we're going, the cultures, and therefore, of course, the food. So
It's an aviation simulator. So if you like planes, if you like flights, if you like learning how to fly planes, doing maneuvers, if you're a real life pilot and you like practicing, you can absolutely do that. It's a love letter to aviation, Microsoft Flight Simulator. But it's a love letter to our planet as well. And with the various world updates and the way the world scenery is constantly being improved, it's a great way to explore the planet Earth. And I always take the opportunity every time we do one of these flyings, talk about the region that we're flying over.
Right through you at some times.
no worries.
But you weren't present in our session here, so I only saw a CD and Papa, and I never saw your client. So something was odd. but now you're here, so all's fine.
Weird. I've had all 4 of us here the entire time.
Yeah, I didn't somehow, and I don't know why.
Little glitches happens.
Yeah, happens.
And that's why we still hand fly our planes.
Because we don't like glitches.
I like to live through them.
At least you're in control. Yeah.
俺さっき真ん中
Look at this. You almost have that aligned. What looks like that Cirrus is keeping up foreign relations with you.
People in the comments, the music is making this way more deep than intended. Oh man, that's awesome.
Purple Dalek, I think you'll find a lot of us have seen the new Top Gun. Please, no spoilers if you have seen it. I will say, though, I saw it last weekend, and I loved it. The question is it better than the original? And it's hard to say. I think it's a more mature movie than the original was. I've seen the original probably close to 100 times. I love that film. It's so corny and cheesy, but it's awesome.
Since one is the continuation of the other, it's really hard to compare them. Which one is better? Well, they're both awesome.
I think
the second one.
For the second one, Top Gun Maverick, I think they dialed back the 80s cheese a little bit. Although that is still there to a certain extent. But they dialed that back and they tried to make a more serious, dramatic movie. Although there's some great comedy elements and there's some great moments in it. There's some real heartwarming moments. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you're a fan of the old school original Top Gun, there's a moment that might bring you to tears. I'm not going to say what it is. And it would be greatly enhanced if you've seen Top Gun 1 and are really familiar with it. And there's a lot of callbacks and references to the first one. Put it that way.
Yes, I also think your experience will be elevated.
Yeah,
by watching the first one.
I think elevated is the right word.
Yeah. There were times I had goosebumps watching it in cinemas.
What about Gosling bumps?
Less.
Rooster bumps.
Rooster
bumps. Definitely a good movie.
Yeah, I do. If you're into this kind of thing, I would recommend though going to the cinema, whatever your local cinema with the biggest screen and the loudest sound system that you can possibly find. Because it's an experience. It's pretty awesome. Himself, he's a licensed pilot, and that's his personally owned B-51, and they use it in the film. I'm sure if I got that wrong, someone can correct me, but I think I recall reading that.
That'd be so convenient.
Yeah.
I actually believe you're correct.
However, the U.S. Navy, despite Tom Cruise being a licensed pilot, they would not allow him for even 1 second to touch the controls of the F-18 Super Hornets. Although, if you've seen some of the behind-the-scenes videos Paramount Pictures have put out, all the pilots in Top Gun, they were riding backseat in a real F-18 Super Hornet, and they had like an elaborate camera system hooked up to them, and so that's actual real footage. That's not, again, it's not green screen. You're seeing them in a real plane, pulling those maneuvers for real, experiencing those G-forces for real, which is pretty amazing. But again, they weren't actually flying. They're not qualified F-18 Super Hornet pilots, but they were riding backseat in a real plane.
And paid to do so.
Yeah.
That is a lot of...
The new, again, I don't want to get into spoiler territory. We'll leave any plot details out. But of the new crew, the new pilots with their various call signs, for those of you who've seen it, who did you like the best?
I mean, I have yet to dedicate a weekend to go watch that, so...
Okay.
Me too. Should we go next week?
You should.
Yeah, see, I'm with Hapes. Like, you got to go with Bob, right? I mean, I liked Phoenix a lot. I thought she was pretty cool, but Bob is obviously the best. Purple Dalek liked Rooster, yeah. Latka liked Bob.
Bob is a cool character.
Yeah, Bob's the man.
Imagine having the call sign Bob.
Oh man.
Scott Burner likes Payback.
Speedy Retreat is talking about how certain pilots were not really featured much. I guess this has to do also with the movie timing.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get that in every screenplay. Same with like the original Top Gun. Like you obviously had Maverick and Goose, Iceman and Slider, and then sort of like the third wheel there was Hollywood and Wolfman. And then there were a few other pilots and Rios who were featured a little bit as well, but didn't get a lot of screen time. I think that's just the nature of making a movie that works. You can't have too many characters.
Yeah. You want to get a relationship with a few of them.
Yeah. That update, you can find it on flightsimulator.com. Sim Update 10 is coming in August.
August 23rd, I believe.
Yeah, the exact date is listed on the dev roadmap that you can find in yesterday's dev update on flightsim.com. Sorry, flightsimulator.com.
So yeah, it's August 23rd then.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is nice.
Jennifer Connelly's boat was sweet. I love Jennifer Connelly's character. Penny Benjamin. First of all, that is an amazing callback and reference. I would never have thought that they would pick up like and we're talking a lot about Top Gun on this week, and it was during that lunch meeting after someone had already, most of us had already seen the movie, that one of the Flight Sim team members put two and two together, and it dawned on her during that meeting that Jennifer Connelly's character Penny was the same Penny Benjamin referenced in the original Top Gun in that one line. How Maverick has a history of flying over 5 air traffic control towers and 1 admiral's daughter. Penny Benjamin.
Yes. So how are we doing route-wise?
Route.
Well, I'm currently 9.1 nautical miles to the next touch and go, which is Kilo Charlie Whiskey India, KCWI.
Oh wow, already.
Yeah, I'm 12 miles out.
15 out here. Little X Cup going as fast as it can.
Oh, I'm dialed way back.
結構もうみんな見たかな
Yeah, the Twin Otter could just zoom this in half the time.
Yeah. The Caravan also, probably. Well, maybe not half, but it will happily do 160.
One cool thing is if you take the Twin Otter and you take the skydiving variant, stay in the cockpit view, and well, I mean, I think there's some keybinds. I have the arrows. I know that's default keybind, but you can kind of get yourself out to the back, get the kind of rail up, and then you can kind of have yourself on sightseeing at the back, where you usually jump out of the
plane. In his late 50s, probably like 56, 57 years old. I like that they cast his love interest in the movie as an actress who's roughly the same age as him. And they didn't like match up like an early 20-something actress with a nearly 60-year-old Tom Cruise like a lot of other movies do. You don't seriously, like, you don't see that in a lot of films. It's very often you'll have an older man paired with a very younger woman. And I loved that Jennifer Connelly's character was roughly the same age as Tom Cruise's character. All right, 3 nautical miles away, I'm going to disengage my autopilot, make a left-hand turn here, and join downwind for this runway.
No tactical descent this time?
Gay Pilots Association, the NGPA's Wings Over Iowa fly-in, which is taking place in Cedar Rapids, Iowa this weekend. So Jane is currently on her way there right now. I believe the fly-in itself is happening on Sunday. And along with this event, it's Cedar Rapids' first ever Pride Parade this year. They've never had one before, and the NGPA is taking part in the Pride Parade at Cedar Rapids this year. So good for them. And here at the Microsoft Flight Sim team, we're very happy to have representation at that event for the National Gay Pilots Association this weekend. Really ultra modern avionics. It has like push button start. Like there's no complicated checklist startup sequence or anything like that. And one of the reviewers I saw, which I think is awesome, by the way. I think that's the way planes should be going. Oh, look at that GB there. Awesome. Love GBs. You know, I think that's the way planes should be evolving. But anyway, someone called it like it's the iPad of airplanes. It's so simple to use and, control and get everything started.
なんであんなゆっくり飛べるんだこれ。こっちで。
Looking good there, inverted.
おおすげえな、背面飛行でいる人がいる。
Oh, was there?
見事なもんだねこれ。
Where? Yeah, in front of you now. There it comes.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Who's done the Dark Star Challenge?
I did.
Yet in the free Top Gun Maverick DLC.
It was the first thing I did actually.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
No, I did actually. Yeah, and I actually succeeded the first time.
ほらすげえわ、背面飛行でこんな。
Yeah, I successfully landed the first time. I was shocked. It wasn't a pretty landing. I did not butter it. I bounced. I will totally admit to this. I totally bounced on the landing at Cape Canaveral, but I did land successfully. And boy, that is a fun challenge.
Yeah. No, I completely succeeded the first try actually, which was just pure luck because I didn't really know what I was doing, but.
I gotta say, I love the missions where you fly very low to the ground and just gotta get yourself on the fastest speed, get yourself close to the ground. And I've seen Peter doing it on VR. I've seen Mort doing it with the Tobii eye tracker.
Yeah.
Wow! Just watching this, it was insane.
In VR, it's really cool. Yeah.
Look at the Tobii eye tracker. For anyone who's just joining, I've got one myself, so I'm showing it to you right now. Here's a demo of how it works. So I can move my head around, and you'll see that the point of view follows my head. Now, it may look on the stream that there's a bit of lag because the video, our webcam is going to be slightly out of sync with my Microsoft Flight Sim video, but it's very responsive. It does respond absolutely in real time. You don't even need to move your head. It actually tracks your eyeballs too. So look at this. I'm going to, just using only my eyeballs, I'm going to look at the bottom right corner of my screen. And look at that. It tracks my vision, tracks my point of view, which I think is an awesome feature. It also has full 6 degrees of freedom, so I can actually move my head and move closer if I want to look at, say, my PFD here. Watch this.
Oh, すげえ変態だ。
I think that's such a cool feature. It's really neat. It's super intuitive, very responsive. For anyone new to flight simming, if you're buying peripherals and hardware, I'd say the number one most important thing you can get is a good sticker yoke, throttle quadrant, and rudder pedals. So get that first. The number 2 thing I think you should get, if you're not playing in VR, is get some kind of head tracker, either the Tobii eye tracker or the Track IR. They all work great. I personally prefer the Track IR, I personally prefer the Tobii, but the Track IR is also a good choice as well, whichever is within your budget or your preference. But definitely, I think it really, really adds to the immersion of Microsoft Flight Sim, and it's a great peripheral.
めっちゃ楽しいなこりゃ。
Hey Roberts, it's the Tobii Eye Tracker 5.
I think you guys have a link down on the Twitch page.
I think it is in our description.
Or get an ultra-wide monitor. Super huge thing. They get like a G9 and like put 2 of those on top of each other, or even 3. But then like you'd need like all the GPU power in the world.
Yeah, and VR is also not the answer on everything, because you actually do want to see and touch physical buttons. At least that's my
So like you need to be comfortable with your setup and know where everything is, kind of muscle memory.
But even then, I mean, I do have a Class Echo autopilot box here, which is a touchscreen which controls a lot of function on the plane. For example, the whole autopilot, I can just have I have a rotary button here and I can dial everything in. You can't use that on VR because you simply cannot see it.
Yeah.
And the same goes for your Bravo buttons, the autopilot buttons.
Look at this Dark Star just above stall speed, chasing me here. That's so cool.
Damn.
Look at the angle of attack.
Yeah. And they're not stalling too. That's pretty amazing.
お、来た。ダークスターだ。
Looks like a stall to me.
すげえ。
Yeah, that's
It's a controlled stall. Let's say that. Well, for the moment.
That's such a cool looking plane. Now, for those of you who don't know, there was a Lockheed Martin posted a video on their YouTube channel today or yesterday. They got
なんか日本人っぽいな。
that's in Top Gun Maverick.
コールサインが。
Allegedly, it supposedly is based on a top secret block.
It takes about 30 minutes. So get some good time. I heard it's a little difficult to get started up because of the way you have to take off. So you take off, then you have to get to an altitude, then essentially you drop down, turn on your other engine, and then you can climb. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, so it has 4 engines, and you use 2 at a time. You have regular air-breathing jet engines, and then you have scramjets. So scramjets are a real technology. They actually do exist. They're not used on a lot of different aircraft yet, and the ones they are used on are experimental high-performance planes. You know, similar to what the fictional Dark Star would be, like for hypersonic flight. So the difference between a conventional jet engine and a scramjet is that in a conventional jet engine, the air intake is compressed, and when it's in the engine itself, the air is at subsonic speed. So you know, a plane could be flying at say but yeah, you can't take off with air going into your engine at supersonic speed. So you need actually 2 sets of engines. You need a conventional jet engine,
あ、マーヴェリックだ。
which you use to get the
ト
gain
ム・クルー
altitude
ズもいらっしゃってま
and get
し
up to
た
about
よ。
Mach 3, at least in
す
the
げえ。
Dark Star, you get to Mach 3, and then you activate the scramjets, shut down your conventional jet engines, and now the scramjets have supersonic air feeding them.
マーヴェリック。
And again, that's all real life proven technology that does exist. It's not fiction. Again, like I said though, the Dark Star itself is a fictional plane that was created for Top Gun Maverick.
Be right back.
Oh, looks like Peter had to go AFK. Ferry filled at Heathrow to LaGuardia in 45 minutes. That would officially be a world record for fastest
結構ゆっ
transatlantic
くり
crossing.
飛べるもんだな、マーヴェ。
Concorde feels super slow compared to that.
Yeah, I believe currently the world record for a transatlantic crossing is
映
held
画
by
大ヒットおめでとうご
SR-71.
ざいます。私ももう
And
一回見に行こうかなと思って
like an
ま
hour
す
and a。half or something.
That's still really fast.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies trying to get, you know, Delta Wings, supersonic air travel back. A couple of companies so far have been building up their planes and trying things with so-called the solution to the sonic boom, which I'd love to see a solution to that. I'd love to see some Concorde-like planes back. That could mean we'd be able to get that kind of speed. Well, of course, not an hour and a half, but not a transatlantic that's 6 hours long or
Well, there's certainly
めっ
the
ちゃ
boom
楽しい。あ
has
の
appeared at several industry air shows
かぶさっ
showing
て
up. Not an active flight yet, but that's apparently
か
going
っ
to be
こいいな、ホーネッ
production
ト。
passenger service supersonic plane. We'll see if it actually becomes reality, but
すごい
certainly
も
the
ちゃもちゃ
developers
し
of
とる。
that plane want to make it a reality.
空中接触しまくりだな。この白いセスナが軽飛行機もかっこいい。
Bleeman, glad to hear you're enjoying the S4 on today's flight from Chicago to Cedar Rapids. DNA says Milviz is supposedly going to get the beta out for the SR-71 sometime in the summer.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I wonder, now the SR-71 is not currently in active service. It's been completely retired by the CIA. Not flown at all anymore, even by NASA. NASA was using it for research flights for a while. I don't even think they're flying anymore. I wonder if the performance of the SR-71 has been totally declassified, or if like some of the performance is still under wraps and you need like top secret clearance to know what the SR-71 can actually do.
That would be a good research, honestly.
こんなにゆっくり飛べるんだね。すごい
Because
向か
then
い
that
方。
allows Milviz to essentially get something as close to the real thing.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be difficult getting a pilot to test someone IRL, but that'd be really cool, honestly, to get that kind of data.
不要不書からのメッセ
Yeah, I mean,
ー
it's
ジ
been
フライ
over
ト
20
1
years
4
since
ラ
the
クラフライ
SR-71 was
ト
retired from active service. So I do wonder if they've
You'd assume
declassified
most
all
of
its
it.
performance characteristics, or if that's still considered a national secret, national security secret. Just because the technology might be reused in future.
Oh.
Again, there's a long time rumored plane. It's never been confirmed to exist, but for many years,
す
the
げえ
quote-unquote
楽し
SR-72 Aurora
い。
has been rumored as being the next generation SR-71 Blackbird. But again, never publicly confirmed that plane actually does exist. Top secret black project, if it does.
Keep your eyes in the sky, folks. Now he's spoiling the CIA.
ミッチェル大佐。
Keep saying that and they'll come for me. Well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't really ascribe to anything like that. But I think it's a reasonable assumption that there are some top secret black projects out there that the U.S. Air Force, the Navy, the CIA, etc., are running of highly experimental secret planes. At Area 51 or Groom Lake, whatever, that the public doesn't know about because they are top secret.
落ちて
How to end a flight in 10 seconds.
DNH says, yeah, during the Bin Laden raid, that's true. There were stealth helicopters that were not confirmed publicly to exist before that, and we know they exist now. And I think if anyone's familiar with that event and the movie Zero Dark 30, which was a dramatization of it, one of the helicopters actually crashed, and the U.S. Special Forces, SEAL Team 6, actually destroyed the helicopter after it crashed, so it couldn't be reverse engineered, or the technology couldn't be recovered.
ちょっと下手くそ。まあでもプロペラ
Looks
機は
like
やっ
Peter's
ぱり
AFK again.
スピード合わせるのが楽じゃんね。
At least he's got a good autopilot.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tritonian has a good explanation here.
Explain the difference between a conventional jet and a scramjet.
Yeah. Well, see, NextCub is nice, but it's a little small. It's a little two-seater, so it's nice to get space outside. Breathe in a bit.
Look at this. I've got an F-18, I've got a GB, and I've got an MB-339. All flying in formation with me. Oh, and a stagger wing. Very nice.
Stagger wings look amazing in the sim.
I
have
love
to
the
say.
stagger wing.
Yeah.
Such a great
It's
plane.
it's just it's one of those planes, like you guys have all these graphics about the sim and you have on the website, but like the stagger wing, I feel like once some of the art is done, that needs to be highlighted somewhere, because that's just a beauty. I want to fly it every time I see it, but of course, want to get the autopilot stuff sometimes.
So the stagger wing, anyone who doesn't know the history of this plane, Beechcraft built it in the 1930s, and of course this is before the jet age. They wanted it to basically be the Learjet the private business jet of its era. Of course, there were no jet engines back then, but they wanted to make a piston engine plane
やっぱこのスピードだ
that
と
was,
落ちて
had
い
a
っちゃうんだ
luxurious,
な。あれ
spacious interior
ミッチェル大
for
佐どこ行った
business executives to zip around the country in a fast GA plane of the time. And the Beechcraft Staggerwing was the result of that. Of course, the Great Depression happened, and was not a great time to be selling expensive planes to business executives for obvious reasons. But it subsequently became a military light utility and transport aircraft. It served in the Second World War for the U.S. Army Air Force. And then after the war, Beechcraft made a next generation plane, one you may be familiar with, headed further in Africa and South America. And then most recently, just yesterday, like I said, to come along with our Italy and Malta World Update 9.
まあどこまでも
we
後ろがお
released,
る。
the Marchetti S55, which is a
飛行
line,
楽しい。
and no more A380s are ever being built.
He meant the model next to you.
Oh,
And also, Flying Cookie's video is frozen.
We lost Cookie.
oh, we lost Cookie's internet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll switch back to me. I'm on long final coming into Cedar Rapids here.
And I'm back because my little one had a bad dream, so I had to attend to that for a bit.
Okay. I'm going to mention this if you're just joining us. If you're wondering why are we flying into Cedar Rapids, Iowa today, this weekend, coming up, I believe, on Sunday in the real Cedar Rapids, Iowa, is the Wings Over Iowa fly-in. This is an event hosted by the National Gay Pilots Association, the NGPA. And because June is Pride Month, this is a celebration and festivities for LGBTQ plus pilots everywhere. Very quickly here, I'm going to read you from the NGPA's website about their mission.
I'm on short finals.
Okay, Peter's point of view. The NGPA says their mission is simple: to build, support, and unite the LGBT aviation community worldwide. Today, the NGPA is the largest organization of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer aviation professionals and enthusiasts from around the world. Since 1990, our mission has been simple: to build, support, and unite the LGBTQ aviation community worldwide. Through education, social events, and outreach, we advance our primary goals: to promote aviation safety, to provide an affirming social and professional network for LGBTQ aviation community, to foster equal treatment for the LGBTQ aviation community through advocacy and outreach,
あ、これ、
and to
着
encourage
陸だ、
members
こ
of
こ
the
で。
LGBTQ community to begin careers in aviation. So, on behalf of the team here at Microsoft Flight Sim, Jane and Skeetor from our community team are attending the event today. The event this weekend on Sunday, the Wings Over Iowa fly-in, hosted by the National Gay Pilots Association. And in recognition of that, and in recognition of Pride Month, we are very happy to support their organization and their events.
Okay, I should be back.
Hello,
Oh.
Cookie.
Yeah, got you back, Cookie. All right, I see Peter just touched down. I'm lining up for short final. I got misaligned from the runway because I was reading that description from the NGPA's website. I think I'm back on course now. Energist reminds me the other day, the flyover in London. Love seeing the Lancaster and Spitfires and Hurricanes. Yeah, if you guys missed it for the Queen, was the Platinum Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth II. The Royal Air Force had an amazing fly past of both some historical planes like the Lancaster, Spitfire, and Hurricane, but then I believe every single aircraft that is currently flown in active duty Royal Air Force service also took part in that formation fly past. So if you didn't see it, and if you're an aviation fan, certainly there's videos of it on YouTube. I'd encourage you to check that out. Really, really cool event. Of course, the Red Arrows, the Air Demonstration Squadron from the Royal Air Force, also took part in that. Smoke On. Red, white, and blue, the colors of the Union Jack.
止まれんな、これ。とてもじゃないけど。
All right, short
Oh,
final
man.
coming into runway 27 at Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Again, home of this weekend's Wings Over Iowa community fly-in event hosted by the National Gay Pilots Association in recognition of Pride Month. Oh, that was a smooth touchdown. I'll take that.
Mine wasn't too bad either.
All right, between Papa and Cookie, which one of you are closest to touching down? Cookie?
I don't know if you still have my stream or if I have to restart that, but
No, it looks like we got it.
yep, awesome. Slowing down to 80 knots. Failure my
Shout out to any LGBTQ plus aviators out there, real or virtual, who are joining us. On behalf of Microsoft Flight Sim team, want to make you feel welcome, appreciated, and make you feel safe and at home amongst our community. Also, I think Jane has another virtual flying lesson with Forder coming up on Wednesday in the Beechcraft Bonanza, so check that out on Wednesday. Otherwise, we're right back here, same time, same place, for another Community Fly-In Friday. Before we go, I'll just pass it over to my three co-hosts here for any final thoughts they may have, starting with Papa.
Not really.
この人がパパっていう人があれなんだ
Nice
な。
weekend and see you around in Discord.
多分
And be nice in Discord, otherwise he'll ban you.
Yes. And Flying
アンマーベリックがいる。
No,
Tom,
enjoy your Friday, guys. Have a great weekend and enjoy everything in the sim.
どうも大人気
It。was a fun flight, guys.
Peter, over to you.
Yeah, nothing more to add. I have a really nice overview here of everyone landed.
トムト
I
ム。
wish
イ
you guys
エ
a
ー
very
イ。
nice weekend. I'm not sure whether it's also in the US, but here in the EU, it's an extra free Monday we have here on holiday.
あ、垂直着陸し
Well,
て
for
く
those of
る。
you in Europe then who have a holiday Monday, enjoy your great extended long weekend. For everyone else, we'll see you
おー、で
next
もこの
week.
飛行機も
Same
かっ
time,
こよかっ
same
たな、ピ
place.
カピカ
Have a
で。
great weekend. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Go see Top Gun Maverick in cinemas if you haven't yet. It's awesome.
Oh, yes, I will do that on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
Hey.
Bye, everyone.
皆さんありがとうございました。おお、どこ行っちゃうぜ。超楽しかった。